What's going on, guys? My name is Jack. Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today's video is going to be about why most freelance proposals get declined. This was a suggestion from a viewer on a recent post. I think I put up getting a video editing job in 30 minutes. Not clickbait, got the job in 30 minutes, might have been 28 minutes. And more or less, basically, I just applied for some jobs that was super targeted, the most targeted jobs I ever applied for. And I got this comment saying, why are most of my proposals getting declined, and how are you getting a job in 30 minutes? This is basically going to break down, I guess a little bit of tried and true things. I don't even know if tried and true is the right word. Just stuff that I've picked up that, has been a process for me. I didn't start freelancing and just get a job in 30 minutes. I've been doing this for quite some time, so I've more or less picked up what works and what doesn't work. And I'm going to try and show you some factors that play a part in you actually getting the job and more or less, obviously, why you're not getting the job potentially, right? And this is going to be also referring to more remote video editing on the internet, right? So it's like, if you're a freelancer and you do more kind of person-to-person stuff where you might be doing the project for somebody you know and interact with and have a meeting with in real life, this is remote video editing. You could be working for someone. I live in England. Most of my clients are in America or Australia or wherever, right? So this is remote video editing where you really do have to do a pretty good job of convincing somebody over the internet that you could do the job that, they're asking you to do, which if you don't have a very big track record behind you, can be kind of tough. But the better your track record is, the more undeniable it is that you can do the job, the more you can get a job in 30 minutes, just how, I'm able to do at this point, but was not able to do years ago when I started freelancing, obviously, right? So first off, a huge factor for why a lot of people get ignored on the internet is that a lot of people are applying, right? So if you have a normal job where the process is come into an office to interview, etc., you're gonna get a lot of people applying, but not as many people can maybe go through it, and definitely not people all around the world can go through it because there's a barrier of entry. You have to be, in a certain place, you have to be able to be free on a certain day, etc., right? So already there's kind of a barrier for entry. With the remote editing, you could just send them a proposal, move on to the next person, send another proposal. I mean, if you're crazy, you sit there, you send 100 proposals in a day or something like that, right? So very smaller barrier of entry to apply, right? So first off, the person who's hiring is dealing with just an influx of people applying. So they actually don't, they're not pressured to make a decision. They don't really have to hear people out, etc. They're really just looking for the person who is, the best and also charging the least, right? So lots of people applying right off the bat is pretty crucial. Next up would be too long. A lot of proposals, and I suffered from this myself when I was starting out freelancing, is they're just really long. They're long and they're boring, and they don't really go anywhere, and they talk too much about themselves and all the benefits they could offer, which that seems counterintuitive because that would be pretty intriguing. But if somebody's just read like 4, or not really 4, maybe like 14 other proposals, and they come to yours, and yours is a massive wall of text, they're going to be turned off by it, most likely, unless they're, a writer. They might be wanting to analyze your creative writing. I don't know. That's a completely fabricated scenario right there, right? But the majority of people who are trying to apply or who are trying to hire you, right, as a client, they're probably not going to be that interested in a massive text wall with just loads of, I'm Andrew, I'm the best video editor ever, here's what I've done, here's this. Basically, my strategy for it, right, is to let your work do the talking, right? So you want to do a very brief cover letter, very brief, that pretty much just intrigues them to click on your link, whether it be a portfolio, a show reel, or a video intro. Video intro being the chief way that I do it. If you want to know more about the video intro, check out that 30 minutes, getting a job in 30 minutes. That's a great video for you. I show my video intro in there, and crucial to how I get the job so quickly. And, basically let your actual past work, your past projects, your presentation do the talking, right? So that essentially is the point, is actually present your work really nicely. If you are presenting your work nicely, like success in remote video editing, or remote freelancing really, because I haven't titled it video editing, but that's my sector, video editing, videography, right? Success in remote freelancing on the internet comes down to 2 key points, in my opinion, and I've really only analyzed this and noticed this properly recently, even though it's been intuitive to me the whole time. Presentation and being proactive. Those are the 2, literally, if you have these 2 unlocked, you're going to do well as a freelancer on the internet. The presentation category, to me, means presenting your work nicely. It could be on a portfolio, it could be on a show reel, it could be on a video intro. Video intro is the most impactful because it's the most personal. Again, if you don't know what I mean by video intro, see the video that's around here. Go check that out, even for 2 seconds now, and then come back to this. It'll be worth your time, right? So present your work nicely. Wow, who'd have known? That's essentially the same as turning up at a job interview and you're not wearing, your clothes are torn or something like that. You know what I mean? Basically just turning up not well presented. If you're applying to jobs and you don't have a really nice portfolio showreel video intro, right? You're not turning up well presented. You're already deducting points from the people who are, right? So present yourself nicely. Then just be proactive in your approach of just not getting put off when inevitably job proposals don't go through, right? For example, the video that I uploaded, get a job in 30 minutes, right? That right there, I applied to 15 jobs and I only heard back from 3 of them and 1 converted, right? So I'm not a mathematician, but someone could figure out the percentage of conversion there, right? And it's not 100% by any means, right? So like even an experienced freelancer at the end of the day is getting rejected more than they're getting accepted, right? It's just a kind of name of the game then, you know what I mean? So you got to be able to have that resilience and be proactive with just taking a no, going back, pushing more if you have to, adjusting your approach, etc. But that's absolutely crucial, right? So how to do better, right? If we're talking now for half the video about what you could be doing wrong, how do you do better? First off, you make your proposal short and sweet to lead the viewer to click on the actual link, right? Whether it be a showreel, portfolio, video intro. Let me get this up. I don't have it on here. Let me just read this word for word for you, right? This is my approach. I say, this is my actual proposal, right? And I say, hey, I'd love to get involved. I'm perfect for this. I'm Jack, YouTuber with 150,000 subscribers. Here's my video intro. Dash the link, and then hope to hear back. I think I'd be a great fit. Little smiley face to make it a little bit more lighthearted. That's my whole proposal. So when you read that, you are kind of just intrigued to click on the link. You know what I mean? You just naturally are. So I've worded that in a way that actually makes them not only read the whole thing, but then click on the link. And when you click on the link, it's a pitch. Basically, it's me pitching you all my services, being very real, very open, and basically that's the conversion tactic. Is I let my video intro do all the talking for me, and it's done very, very well. And the fact of the matter is most people, they're trying to let the text do the convincing, which is the most least convincing way. Anyone could sit there and write a whole bunch of stuff about them, but not everybody could just show the work. And also, the person who they're going to hire, they're going to need to see some work anyways from you. They're not just hiring you off the faith of your fat proposal, right? Of all this, I'm Andrew, I'm the best, blah, 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 right? I don't know who Andrew is. I'm really dissing him today, but I don't know. I'm using him for an example, right? And basically, that right there is, make something short and sweet that leads them on to clicking a link, which then your work should do the talking. At the end of the day, if your work's not good enough to convince them to do it, then, just keep applying until you find someone where your work is good enough to go in, you know what I mean? But you might not be, actually even qualified enough to get the job if your work can't tell them that, you know what, this is it, you know what I mean? And what I personally do, right, which just essentially makes this less of a tedious process, is I more or less spam/adjust the same message to goddamn everybody. Basically, you know what I mean? Now, some people, I might have just lost some of you there, like, hold on, what did you just say? You just spam it. No, yes, and no. Essentially what I do is I take this basic letter, which essentially is just a bait into them clicking on the link, and I more or less send that to everybody. If the job is certainly, if there's a certain aspect about the job after reading the actual brief that I decide, all right, I'm gonna customize this a bit, then I'll customize it a bit, and I'll adjust it, if you will, right, to the actual job I'm applying to. But for 99% of the jobs, I just send this message, and you want to know why? It's because it doesn't matter. All I'm doing is getting them to click on my link, and when they click on that link, it's me talking directly to them, Like, go watch that video. You'll see. It's literally me talking. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Jack. Like, I'm a YouTuber. I'm applying to your job, which is a YouTube video editing job. Like, I'm a great candidate for this. A little bit less vague than that, but you know what I mean? Essentially, that's it. I'm pitching them, and I'm just basically making the case that I'm Jack. I'm a YouTuber. I edit YouTube videos all day. Why don't you let me edit your YouTube video? I think I'd be a great fit, right? And basically that's all you really need. If you're a content creator and you see somebody on the screen who's telling you like, boom, this is it, and not only telling you, backing it up with proof, etc., right? Like the 150,000 subscribers, social proof that I have, which obviously enables me to convert YouTube video editing jobs very easily, right? And that's the main type of online remote video editing that I do a lot of the time, is those YouTube video editing stuff, because it's such an easy case for me to convert, right? And that's the final thing, is why most proposals get declined. Target the thing you're most qualified to do. Boom. If you've made 400 promo videos and now you're trying to make the case that you can make a solid music video, that's great. You can. And like me as a video creator, I could do any type of video more or less, right? Within reason. But You don't have a track record that shows that you could do that. So you have to have empathy for the client, that at the end of the day, unless you could show 100% that you do the thing that you say you're going to do, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, which is why right off the bat, to actually start getting proposals accepted is target the job that you have an undeniable track record for creating, whether it be music videos, whether it be YouTube videos, whatever your thing is. And I promise you, those proposals will stop getting declined. They'll start getting accepted faster than you realize. Boom. That right there's a video done and dusted. I applaud you to check out that video wherever it is. It'll start playing right after this, or it'll be linked in the description to how to get a video editing job in 30 minutes. I think it'll provide a lot of value to you. My voice is starting to get a little bit, or my throat's getting a little bit dry, so I'm heading off. Follow me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, whatever your personal preference is. I produce daily content there as well. Great stuff, provided value, talking to you guys. If you want to reach me, Instagram's hands down the best place to reach me. And God damn it, my throat is a little bit dry. So we're heading off. Take it easy, guys. Have a great Monday, Tuesday, whatever day I'm uploading this video. Later.